Hey, Nagani! Well, April showers bring quicker melting snowbanks, at least. Well, before you know it, the snow will be gone, and the city will be breaking ground on the newly announced Jackson Mine Park Playground. Here to talk more about it is City Manager Nate Heffron.
As everyone knows, we received a trust fund grant from the DNR to build this playground, but then another funding opportunity came up called Patronosity. And that was another opportunity for us to raise additional funding to the funding we received from the DNR, but this money would be through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So through this crowdfunding campaign, we were able to choose a funding level up to $50,000. So we decided to choose $50,000 and see if we could raise that much money through the community, different organizations, businesses, to add additional funding to this playground. Now how that works is we say we're going to raise $50,000 from the community, and if we do that, then MEDC and Patronosity will give us an additional $50,000 match. So that gives us roughly about $100,000 more that we can use on this park. So the playground is going to be play structures. We're looking to combine some other aspects to it as well. Pathway, eating areas, water fountain, things of that nature. There'll be some lighting over there as well. And this playground is designed like all playgrounds in the state of Michigan. It's mandated by the state, mandated by the federal government, and by this grant project that we have to be ADA accessible. And there are also some inclusive elements in there. The ADA component is inclusive in itself, but we also have some other inclusive elements in there for folks who have sensory issues. So things like tactile things, motor function skills. And again, like usual, as I've said, I'm not an expert in those fields, but we have talked to different organizations such as SAIL. We've talked to our company that is suggesting that these products be purchased for this playground, and it provides all these different benefits to children while they're there experiencing this playground. So the playground is going to be located across the street from the Senior Center on Tobin Street, and it's going to be situated between Tobin Street and where the new Jim Thomas Pavilion is located. And in fact, there will be a sidewalk trail system built from the Jim Thomas Pavilion to the new playground over to Tobin Street, connecting those two areas. We envision this area to be a great spot for several reasons. One, the connectivity to the Jim Thomas Pavilion. So if there's parties or events going on, parents can keep a close eye on their children. If they're over by the pavilion, they can see them all the way over by the playground. The other reason why we decided to choose this area is because it's in our downtown area. It's going to have the most impact on the downtown, draw people downtown, and act as a economic augmentation to our downtown, providing more business opportunities for everybody. In addition to that, it also is a centrally located park where there's lots of parking, lots of access for as many people as possible. That includes people who live here in the city of Nagani and those that are visiting us abroad. We're hoping to break ground this year, potentially May, maybe more likely June, given how much snow we have. And so the goal is to start as soon as possible once the snow is gone, and hopefully within 45 to 60 days have that project completed. Now, one of the other benefits about this type of project is we are going to be inviting the community members of Nagani and whoever wants to participate to help participate in what we call a community build project. And that means folks can help us install equipment, do landscaping, things like that. They're not going to build this completely, but components of that. It's just a kind of a fun way to get together, have some ownership over it. People feel like it's more than just giving money towards it. They were part of actually physically building this camp or building this playground overall. So if you're interested in participating in that community build aspect, I encourage you to keep an eye on our Facebook, go on our website. We'll be making notices and putting information out about this and how people can participate. So the future plans for parks and playgrounds in the city of Nagani is that we are in the planning stages. Right now, we're renewing our recreation plan. It's a 5-year plan that's required through the DNR to acquire grants. Now, in most cases, we as a city have to go through a granting process because simply there's just not enough money available to make these types of projects happen. Other communities are doing this, and we would be remiss if we didn't try to go after this funding as well. So these funds are made available through various means. And the main factor that provides money for our programming is the trust fund, and they receive monies from like when the forests get cut down on state forests or minerals get extracted from the earth. There's a portion paid to this fund where communities can draw for recreational purposes. So that's what we do. And what we're going to be trying to do is apply our recreation plan to playgrounds and parks that we currently have and making new investments in them. As we all know, a lot of our parks and playgrounds around here haven't been invested in for years, and that's just because there has been no money made available, or because leadership really didn't look at finding ways to make these playgrounds and parks a priority. Under my administration, under the council that we have now and we've had since I've been here, we have a commitment to reinvest in infrastructure across the board in the city of Negaunee. And as stated at the Jim Thomas Pavilion ribbon cutting, I mentioned that we were going to make unprecedented efforts and investments in park infrastructure throughout the city of Negaunee in the coming years. So in the next few years, you are going to see investment in playgrounds and in parks in our community. You'll also see investment in new parks and new playgrounds within our community, because that's where our community is changing. We have to change with the times, and we have to provide the new infrastructure to the people that are looking for the infrastructure to come to our community to enrich their lives.
And earlier this week, the city has announced that the $50,000 goal was reached, thanks to generous businesses and people throughout our community who donated. That's it for now. Thanks for watching Irontown Talk.